Do you have a show that you've been watching for any amount of time and you've gotten so attached to it that it's one of your comfort shows, and it's your number one comfort show? It's the comfort show you turn to no matter what, and you know from the start of each episode if it'll be one you like, one you don't like, one of your comfort episodes from that show, what episodes end certain ways, and if you like the endings. If you have a show like that, then we're in the same boat. For me, that show is Criminal Minds. I have been watching it for at least a decade, maybe 12 years, and I've gotten so attached to this team, and that's the main reason why I stuck around for so long, and why I kept watching it and kept rewatching it, and why it became one of my favorite TV shows just in general. It was because of the team. And for a really long time, it was on Netflix, and Netflix would update the seasons, but after season 12, it didn't start updating the new seasons 13, 14, and 15, since it ends at season 15. And I still wanted to watch it. I just initially had no way of watching the last 3 seasons and that's because the only streaming service I had access to that showed Criminal Minds and had Criminal Minds accessible was Netflix, so I couldn't watch the last 3 seasons. And this was one show that I actually actively avoided spoilers for. There were a couple of spoilers, half spoilers, mild spoilers, because of trailers and clips that I saw and sounds on TikTok. But now this is my catching up with Criminal Minds binge watching video, because I have Hulu. I have access to Hulu now, and Hulu has all 15 seasons. I'm watching episode 22, the last episode of season 12, to remind myself of what happened immediately before season 13. This episode is Red Light, which is basically where Kat and Spencer reunite. I'm not going to go into more detail other than that. I am wearing my Criminal Minds t-shirt. Never underestimate a woman who loves Criminal Minds and was born in November. I am a November baby. I love Criminal Minds, and my friend got me this shirt as a present, and I feel like it was appropriate to wear this during my Criminal Minds catch-up video. I was going to try filming on Zoom using my Nexico camera for a clear picture, because my computer camera, not that great. I didn't like the lighting using my Nexico camera, so we're just gonna do it this way. I don't think I'll be recording for the entire episode, but what I'll do is when I need to react to something, I'll pause the episode, start recording, and then record my immediate reaction. Spoilers from this point on, and raw, real reactions from this point on to said spoilers. Am I ready to be traumatized? I don't know, especially given that cliffhanger. I mean, the cliffhanger that we get at the end of season 12, where with Mr. Scratch's plan and they're being hit by the truck, that was very impactful when I first watched it. And then since it's been years since I've watched it, it's kind of dumbed down, but I know I'm going to be traumatized. So I'm ready, but I'm not ready. Let's get into this. Okay, I know I just finished season 12, and I've barely just started season 13. In the first episode, Wheels Up, they were doing the recap for what previously happened on Criminal Minds, or previously on Criminal Minds. They were doing the recap and showing everything, Reed coming back home, and then the whole thing with Mr. Scratch, Hotch, and Jack going into the witness protection program. But it's the thing that doesn't make sense to me is, why didn't that truck stop? Because let me just see. Their lights are still on. I had to rewatch that just to make sure. Their lights are still on. The car lights are still on. Why doesn't the truck make any... I mean, maybe the truck driver was working for Scratch, which is why they didn't slow down. Or they were paid by Scratch to not slow down. That's the only possible explanation for why the truck driver did not slow down, because the lights of both of the SUVs that the team had were on. Both car lights were on. So there's no way that the truck driver would not have seen them and not slow down unless he was paid by Scratch. Oh no, Penelope. Don't go to voicemail. Don't go to voicemail. Don't go to voicemail. Derek, please pick up. Call Derek. Matt! I was not expecting Matt. I'm glad she didn't call Derek. I know I said I was gonna... shit. I know I said I was gonna pause this, but, at first I was hoping that she'd call Derek, but at the same time, I'm happy she didn't call Derek. Fucking hell. You know what? You know what? If I pause the episode, then I pause it. If I don't pause it, then I don't pause it. I'll pause it to talk about stuff like I did here, but I'm not... Jesus. JJ. Emily? Oh shit, I knew this was coming, but at the same time... Oh, of course, I knew this was coming, but...
I can't leave him alone like this.
What about Emily? Kara? Where's Emily? Oh, for fuck's sake, he got her. I'm not surprised Scratch took her. Like, I'm not surprised. I knew Walker's death was coming. I didn't know how, but I knew it was coming. I wasn't expecting that. And then I wasn't expecting him to take Emily. And then it's just like, oh shit, where's Emily? Jesus. Okay. I don't know what, I don't know what to say right now. I'm like, how many minutes in? I don't even know. I'm like 6 minutes in? I don't know what to, I mean, I'm only 6 minutes in, so. That was a lot in 6 minutes. That was a lot. That was a lot. I was crying for maybe 30 to 40 minutes of the whole 45, 46 minute episode. It almost felt like too much for one episode. Like too much going on. Not too much going on, but it almost felt like too much. There are other factors to why I am more susceptible to crying right now, but as I said, I was crying for maybe 30 to 40 minutes. So like basically 2/3 of the episode I was crying, which is a new for me because I have been crying more to Criminal Minds, but it's more like specific scenes rather than the full episode, where like I tear up at most of the episode and then I cry harder at specific scenes. This episode, season 13, episode 1, I was crying. Not just tearing up, I was crying throughout most of the episode. I am happy Scratch is dead. It took long enough to wrap that arc up, but I'm happy Scratch is dead. I am happy nothing was actually like wrong with Emily, that it was Scratch's, Peter Lewis's drugs that he used like in the gas mask to make her think that she was injured with a broken shoulder or arm and then broken leg, and that she was paralyzed. So I'm glad that that wasn't actually wrong with Emily and that was fine and she was able to get away. I really want Reed to be able to process his emotions, and which is why I'm happy the director told Emily to like let the team have some time off, because they honestly really need it after Reed. It was basically Reed getting out of prison, out of jail at the end of season 12, right into like finishing up the Peter Lewis incident. I'm just so happy they're finally able to get some time off because they need it. I need it. My new plan is to react fully, or at least a majority of my reaction will be to the first episode of each season, and then do smaller reactions to specific scenes. And then at the end of each season, for this season, season 14 and season 15, I'll do like a wrap up. Let's see how this goes. I want to reiterate that I will not be updating every single episode with my reactions. Maybe every couple of episodes, maybe one scene per episode, depending, but not to the full episode or not to a majority of the episode like I did with episode 1. But I wanted to say that I started episode 2 and like, you know, back on a happy train. Hopefully I'm not sobbing. I don't think I will be. I think that was just episode 1. But I do want to say that I kind of wanted to see some of their downtime, some of the team's downtime, seeing how Matt Simmons was wading through the water, because Emily mentions how he held down the fort while everyone else was taking a break. So I wanted to see how he was adjusting, and then just seeing everyone's downtime, everyone's summer vacations, as I want to say Aisha Taylor. Tara Lewis. As Lewis said, I kind of wanted to see that, but at the same time, I am happy that we're back into like the normal routine of things with Criminal Minds. Hopefully there's no more sobbing for a while. I got through about 8 episodes of Criminal Minds season 13, and thankfully not too much crying. I did tear up a little bit when Derek showed up again, but not actually crying, thankfully. I don't think I'll be crying for a while because it seems like the team for the time being is back in their old rhythm of solving these cases. And for quite some time, I've known that the actress for Tara Lewis, Aisha Taylor, was also the actress for Mother Nature in the Santa Claus series. And I've always loved her in both of these things. And something I always say, whether I'm watching the Santa Claus or Criminal Minds, is that she didn't age. I swear to God, she just got a haircut. She just didn't age. Like, I love her so much in both of these roles. Like, she is Mother Nature. She does not age. First off, yes, I did have to change my shirt because I got some stuff on my Criminal Minds one. Clean shirts. Season 13 wrap-up. Overall, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Thankfully, not a lot of tears after episode 1 of season 13. Thankfully, I only teared up a little bit when Derek came back. But after episode 1, no more full-on sobbing. And of course, they had to end season 13 on a cliffhanger. Of course. I swear to God. I don't know what to say about season 13 without talking about season 14. Also, one last thing before going into season 14. I think I mentioned that I got a little overstimulated, and it was because of everything that happened in episode 1 of season 13. And then you get like a little bit of a lull, and then I was getting so pissed off at Linda Barnes. So like, but in between like the tears of episode 1 and Linda Barnes, I was trying to watch as much as I could so that I could just get all of this out of the way. Could be like, okay, I know what to expect now. I know when I'm going to cry. So I was trying to get like as much out of the way as I could so I knew what to expect when I was ready to watch it again. So I ended up getting a little overstimulated. Like, I watched 8 episodes in one day of season 13. So I got a little overstimulated, and we're slowing it down for season 14, so I got a little caught up in watching Criminal Minds, and I am about 13 minutes into episode 1 of season 14. Not that far in, but in comparison to episode 1 of season 13, like, I was reacting to most of that. I just got so caught up in this that I was like, I need to know what happens, and forgot about this. Forgot about recording. I swear to God, like, how did spoilers ahead? If burning off your fingerprints is part of the initiation for this Messiah cult group, how did she get into the FBI? Like, does she still have her fingerprints and they just trusted her enough because she was getting into the FBI or was already in the FBI? Or how did she get into the FBI without fingerprints? Because, like, what is going on here? And then Reed's been through enough. He doesn't need to get beaten up again. He's been through enough. And then Garcia has also been through enough. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Okay. So JJ's crying a little bit because basically throughout most of these seasons, Reed, JJ, and Garcia have basically been inseparable, as Emily puts it. And with Reed and Garcia being held hostage by Messiah, by the believers, JJ's having a hard time, and just seeing her cry is just really hard. I did tear up a little bit, but seeing her cry is really hard. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What?
I have seen her, so have you. We have both met the believers before. Liberty Ranch in Colorado. Polygamous leader Benjamin Cyrus.
Please.
We're going all the way back, like, seasons back for this connection. Holy shit. What? I don't even remember what season this episode was, but the season with Benjamin Cyrus and his cult, like, led to this one, I guess? What?
It's a warehouse within Hillcrest, 18 minutes. I can take you there. You gotta hurry. They hurt Reed. He's been bleeding there in trucks with Theo. You're in a gunshot. It's a warehouse.
Penelope. Of course they're gone by now. Oh no, Reed. Please don't be Reed, please. It's probably Reed, but it's Theo. Jesus Christ. Relevant. Thank you, Emily. So, the end of the first episode got to me a little bit. tearing up a lot more, where Rude and Garcia hug after being reunited after that. I think after episode 1 of season 13, I'm not necessarily desensitized, but definitely able to handle all the emotional roller coastery stuff of these recent seasons. So, yeah. I'm surprised how hard this hit me. Phil didn't deserve to die. I'm surprised, as I said, that this is hitting me so hard, considering that we haven't seen Phil so that much, but just like his dynamic with Garcia and his friendship with Luke and Lisa. It took 6 episodes into season 14 for me to start crying. At least it wasn't the first episode. I'm just hoping Lisa can talk some sense into Luke, because Luke's not in his right mind. Luke, don't pull the trigger, please. Luke, please, Luke, please, Luke. Listen to Emily. Listen to Phil. Listen to Matt, please.
I told you. You had to sit this one out.
I know.
You defied a direct order.
Emily.
I can't let it slide. Because a shot was fired, OPR will take your gun. I am not asking for your badge yet, but I am placing field restrictions on you.
Emily's still being so supportive of Luke, and it's just... This is probably going to be another episode that I'm going to cry to, because I'm already tearing up. Season 14, episode 13, Chameleon. I'm always going to tear up when I see the team crying or emotional. I'm always going to tear up. But it seems to be the team members who always put on a brave face. Like JJ, like Rossi, like Prentice. The team members who are always putting on a brave face. Like, I just finished up the intro like that, and I'm like 5.5 minutes into episode 13. I finished up the intro, and I'm already like tearing up, because seeing David like this, like, excuse me. So I'm almost done with episode 15 of season 14, and I'm sorry, but you do not bring Johnny Mathis into an episode and not have him sing in real time for the show. I'm sorry. This is the thing I'm upset about right now. I love Johnny Mathis so much. And, like, you know what? I get it. Maybe there's a reason he couldn't sing or didn't want to. But, like, you don't bring on Johnny Mathis and not have him singing in real showtime. And, like, yeah, there was, like, the track of him singing in the background. But, like, I want him singing. And, you know, I'm not even upset about the whole Reed and JJ situation, because, like, it makes sense. I was spoiled about that a little bit, so I'm not surprised by it. And as I just said, it does make sense. And when Emily talks about, like, the twin flames, like, I honestly think that that's a very valid theory. But I also think that, like, twin flames don't necessarily have to be, like, romantic partners. I 100% see Reed and JJ as twin flames, friendship soulmates, if that makes sense. As I've said, it does make sense that they would feel that way about each other, that JJ would feel that way about Reed, and vice versa, even though he hasn't fully admitted it. Their feelings make sense. Okay, so I was going on to the next episode, and then I realized it was season 15, episode 1. Excuse the truck outside. But, like, there's only, like, 15 seasons. There's only 15 episodes in season 14, which is surprising, because usually they have 22 episodes. I'm really happy that season 14 ended on such a happy note. Season 15, episode 1, we're returning to the con man from earlier in season 14. My Criminal Minds season 14 review recap. I really enjoyed this season. There weren't any sobbing episodes. There were quite a few episodes where I did cry and tear up, but there wasn't any episode that made me full out sob like season 13 episode 1 did. So I'm relieved about that. I will not get over that they brought in Johnny Mathis and did not have him sing in real showtime. I will not get over that. I listen to Johnny Mathis sort of regularly throughout the year, but once it's Christmas time, I am rocking out to Johnny Mathis and A Marshmallow World and his Christmas music. You don't have... I'm not gonna get over this, but I really enjoyed season 14. Hopefully season 15 can be another solid season with not no sobbing, maybe crying a little bit, tearing up a little bit, but hopefully no sobbing. Starting final season, season 15. We're going back to the con artist story. Lynch, I'm blanking on his last name or first name, but going back to the con story. I am wondering how they're going to approach this, because he obviously can't go back to his usual original MO, which was taking off the faces and then taking the faces with him. He still has his impulses, so kind of curious. This is suspicious. So this guy, I'm assuming he's going to be a victim or maybe an accomplice, but this is very suspicious. He had a number that he was texting, not part of his contacts, so okay. Called the person saying, I'm at your house now, and the guy was just like, I just got out of the shower. You can come on in, front door should be open, but like everything's dark, like the entire house is dark, from what you can tell. Suspicious. I'm eating a cinnamon roll right now, so I'm still thinking victim, but at the same time, it's possible he's an accomplice, maybe an unwilling accomplice. But some of the house lights are going out. Motion sensor. Of course, he drinks the fucking wine. It could be poisoned. It could be drugged. I mean, maybe it's just a painting, but that... that's creepy. If he doesn't fall over... If he doesn't fall because... Just these pictures keep making me stop my train of thought, so I need to pause this. If he doesn't fall because the wine's been drugged, I'm gonna be surprised. I'm gonna be surprised if the wine's not. He's a victim. He's a victim. 100% gonna be a victim.
I need to get out of here.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Well, he's killing men now, if it's the same guy.
Do you want me to call him? No, I'll call him.
All of a sudden, I'm nervous about Dave and Crystal. Okay, they're fine. Why is his hand shaking?
You know it's not in our jurisdiction.
That's why he's shaking. David. So, David's theory makes sense. Where, because Lynch doesn't know who he is, really, as a person, which is in conflict with his narcissism, it's why he's switched his victim pool to men he envies, and why he's now cutting out a different part of the body, I guess, or skinned a different part of the body with this most recent victim. But I still think that a major factor in this too is to possibly avoid getting caught, because the cutting off of women's faces was such a unique amount. Well, not unique. The BAU's seen it before, but it was like the way he built up to this MO where he would seduce those women and then propose and then cut off their faces. That was so unique to him that he can't do that anymore, because they would know, or like the BAU place would know that that's him. So. I'm finishing up episode 2, and this is crazy. I don't want to say it's convoluted, but it sort of feels convoluted. Like they have the one plot line going, but with everything tying in, like all the tie-ins, like with the doctor and the mother, Lynch's mom, and then the daughter, like everything just tying in, it feels convoluted almost. And this is the first time I've ever felt like this for like a Criminal Minds plot. And maybe it just feels convoluted for like these 2 episodes, because they're trying to finish it up within these 2 episodes, I guess, since this last season. Something that I do love, though, is that Matt and Luke are working together so much recently. Just, like, seeing them together is, like, it's amazing.
What's your name?
I'm Charlotte Bear. Please help me.
I thought... Who was dead, then? Who's dead? Did he kill his daughter? What? He killed his daughter. That's fucked up. Okay, I'm sorry, but the fact that they didn't finish it up within the first 2 episodes kind of has me annoyed. Like, they're trying to finish it up as soon as possible since it's the last season, but at the same time, they're trying to drag it out because it's the last season. And this is the first time I'm feeling genuinely annoyed at the show. I'm starting episode 3. What? Is it gonna be the con man or not? I'm doubting that now. At the same time, they do try to have the unsubs caught by a certain point. Like the unsubs the BAU go after. I'm confused. I want to say open the package, but she's doing that at the same time. You know, when there's a package on Criminal Minds, it's not good usually. picture, maybe? Something? 3.
What's wrong?
I wasn't expecting a bomb, I was expecting a picture. Okay then. Oh, Christy. Oh, the kids. The Simmons kids. I love these kids so much. You did a bow. I love Matt so much. I did some recording, which is why I have makeup on. My lipstick kind of wore off because I was eating. I'm on episode 5 of Criminal Minds season 15. And at this point, like, so we don't know what's going on with the comment, like that plotline. I don't want to say it was dropped, but they're not focusing on that right now. But at this point, it just feels like they're trying to have all of the team members, especially all of the newer team members, going through something because of like a past case they worked on. Luke and Matt have been captured, and it's because of a bad guy that they put away. They worked when they were working separately, when Luke was still in the fugitive task force and Matt was still with the international response team, the IRT. Like, but they both, like, both of their work managed to put this guy away and his brother away. This guy is coming back like, I'm doing this to get back at you guys for what you did to my brother. I swear, like, it's not. I think I wasn't crying. Like, I feel like this would have made me cry, but it's not, mainly because, one, the trauma from season 13 episode 1 is still like it's not really fresh, but it's still relatively fresh. And 2, as I was just saying, it's just to a point where like all the team members have to like be kidnapped. Maybe not even kidnapped, but like all of the team members have to go through something because of a past case or a case they were sort of working on the side. It is like, and the thing is too, I think part of the reason why I'm not so emotional about this is because I know they're gonna make it out. Okay, so this guy, Chacon, like, wants to get back at Luke and Matt because, 1, they put him in prison, and 2, his brother died in prison in front of him and had his tongue cut out, so he wants to do to them what the gang did to his brother, which is like, okay, reasonable thinking. But what is with this whole big group of people? I officially want Rossi as a part of my family. Dad, uncle, chosen family, like, friend. Okay, first off, the subtitles were saying that Simmons said he's coming when it was Luke's voice. I know that they're in a dire situation, but I love how Matt is always the one picking locks. He's always the one to, like, pick the locks. He's like the lock-picking nail gun thingy, and now he grabbed, like, a nail to pick the lock of his handcuffs. Yeah, of course it's the ending that's getting me a little bit. I'm annoyed. Kat's back. Why does she need to be back? Ugh, Jesus. She doesn't need to be back. Ugh. Ugh. I swear to God. I swear to God, they're really dragging the Kat Adams plot out so much and bringing out so many different branches of this when they don't need to. Apparently for season 15, I'm updating as I watch. It's almost like I'm annoyed to the point of numbness, if that makes sense. Because I am feeling annoyed, but at the same time, I'm feeling so numb to this plot because it's like every time that Kat comes into play, it's like the same thing. And I'm just tired of seeing cats. Okay, I'm in episode 9, and it looks like we're gonna finish up the Everett Lynch case, the con man. I'm not looking forward to this. I mean, I'm looking forward to having it over, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not looking forward to this. Okay, so there are only 10 episodes in season 15 now, and we're finishing up the Lynch case, and apparently Lynch survived the bombing because he went through a tunnel, and it's really annoying, because, like, at this point, it's like, okay, let's just wrap this up already. And Reed fainted at the end of episode 9. It's just, everything is just, like, it's not too much in the sense of plotline, because you have the one plot that they're trying to finish up. But there's, like, so many little branches, because, like, oh, this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. This episode is so weird. Was the thing with, like, you have to assume that Gideon showing up, Mandy Patinkin showing up, that was recorded for, like, back when Gideon was still on the show, because he wouldn't have come back. And, like, Hotch too, like, again, recorded for, and anyway, that was recorded for, like, sometime between seasons 1 and 2. And now we have Aaron Strauss back. I'm so confused. This episode is making a lot more sense. Strauss does not look good with, like, I mean, she looks fine, but, like, having her hair that short and then the bangs, not the best look on her. But that was so weird. And what I said earlier about, like, Mandy Patinkin not coming back, my mind is like, now, of course he's not coming back. He wouldn't look that young. So yeah, that was recorded for an earlier episode or like an earlier section they didn't end up using. I am really not sure how to feel about this episode because it's like trying to wrap it up, and like, of course, we have to have this last little surge of emotions. I really don't know how to feel about this episode. You know, Ross is gonna retire. Part of me is just like, okay, he's genuinely happy because he honestly thinks Lynch is dead, but he's not, so he's gonna... I don't know what to do with this episode. I'm sort of halfway through this, pretty much halfway through this episode, and again, it's too much for the last episode. Kind of like how season 13 episode 1 was too much for that episode. This is like too much. Like, there's season 15 episode 10 is too much for its episode, and not because of the same reasons that season 13 episode 1 was. This has too many branching plots, as I've mentioned, that it's just too much. Like, Reed is struggling to hold on to his life. Crystal is now with the unsub Everett. Lynch, there we go. I blanked on his last name for a second. The unsub was with her because he found out where like she and Dave lived, and he's going after the BAU, and it's just it's too much. This is too much. Go JJ. Now he's dead. 1 month later. How are they doing? Oh, he's retiring finally. Oh, Crystal. All the memories here. I will say that there are now like a bunch of random people like dancing with them when they weren't there initially. I am really happy with how this is ending. Maybe? Or at least this part of the ending. There's like a bunch of people dancing with them at Penelope's farewell party that is like, who are these people? Like, why isn't Derek there? Or like, Luke just asked Penelope out! I mean, I think it's only reasonable that I end on some tears. I'm tearing up right now with Penelope's speech. Who's replacing Penelope? Not that this really matters, but who's replacing Penelope? I'm just gonna wrap up here. I'm gonna do the season 15 wrap up and an overall wrap up. Overall, I think that season 15 was very lackluster, except for the very end. And like, that's like the very end of the last episode. It was very lackluster for me. And I think at this point, I'll just be beating a dead horse by saying it was just too much going on, too many branches of the plot, rather than focusing on the main plot. Or too many stray branches, I think is the right word, or the right way to put it. But yeah, the very ending was bittersweet. I'm gonna need a lot of time to recover from this. Overall, I really enjoyed season 15, but I feel like things could have been done better for it, even though it was a 10 episode season. It was the last season, so it makes sense. It was a lot to take in with these last 3 seasons, and I was trying to like get through a lot of it to get past everything that was going to happen, and a lot happened. I kind of want to see, I mean, I know Criminal Minds Beyond Borders is a show. I'll have to see if I can find that, but I kind of want to see like a spin-off series or like something related to Criminal Minds where they're not necessarily doing BAU stuff, or maybe like they are, because majority of the team is staying on, but we see more of like the characters who have left, like Morgan and now Penelope, maybe Hotch too, but we see some of the characters who have left and see the interactions with the team from like outside. But I don't think we're gonna get that, so I'll have to live with this. I'm going to need maybe a month to recover from this before I start rewatching it. As usual, my socials are linked down below in the description, along with my Mercari and my Pengu books. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next week's video.